Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Today's Words of Wisdom was sent out on November 24th, but it was used in the past, so I chose my own from this Kyoten, The Challenge of Enlightenment, to the new version. So here I go. There are three types of poisons of the mind that, there are three types of poisons that toxify your mind. The first poison, greed. Thank you, Master Okawa. Okay, so this is a chapter 2, Freeing Yourself from Ignorance. Master has taught us that ignorance is the cause of most of our sufferings and worries in our lives, and that ignorance can be summed up into three poisons of the mind, and I'm going to use today, tomorrow, and the day after to explain each one. And I would just like to, each one is like just 2 or 3 pages. I'm just going to read the whole whole pages, because it's so good. So let's get today's one. The first poison, greed. One way of understanding what greed is to imagine a stray dog searching through a trash can for food, desperately growling and whining. It seems so desperate and greedy, but this is exactly how avaricious people appear, though usually they themselves do not realize it. Looking at them, others may think, why are they so greedy? Why do they covet so much? Why do they look so desperate? What makes them so desperate? First, there's the desire for food. Suppose a group of people was eating at a table and exercising good manners. Then comes a very hungry person who begins to make a pig of himself. Naturally, the others would all feel uncomfortable and would not want to continue eating. There's also lust or sexual desire. Some people have very strong sensual desires. Whenever they see someone of the opposite sex, they lose control of themselves, as if they are no longer human. They are the kind of people who cannot keep their desires under control. There is no end to these desires, such as the desire for status, the desire for possession. Greed is the feeling of desperately wanting something. In short, greed is love that takes. The opposite of greed, using the terminology of happy science, is love that gives. In other words, it's an attitude of offering or selfless giving. The teaching of offering in Buddhism is a teaching that recommends people to abandon greed. The nature of greed can easily be understood if you observe other people. But it is usually difficult for us to see greed in ourselves. It is quite hard to see whether your own desire or wishes are more than what you deserve, but it is very obvious to see that in another person. Therefore, you need to make an effort to see yourself objectively by observing other people closely. Thank you, Lord God. So the important part is it's easy to see greed in others, but hard to see in ourselves. So then how do we observe ourselves? We have to objectively see ourselves as if we're observing a totally different person. You have to detach yourself and look at your own life from a third person's view. And the more you do this, the better you get at it, and then you'll start understanding how much greed you have. And the important part is this. See whether your own desires or wishes are more than what you deserve. So you have to start asking yourself, do I deserve what I'm seeking for? Have I made that much efforts? Am I at such a level? If you feel you're not, then you should start making more efforts instead of complaining and fretting over not something that you don't have. So that'll be end for today. Tomorrow we'll go over the second poison of the mind. Thank you very much.